Alright, good morning all. We're about to continue with NextJS for very beginners. Actually, I call it very beginners because we'll be doing things right from beginner stage actually. And I'm going to start or load my VS Code, and before it finishes loading, this is the project we have created yesterday. We just created the project and run it, or I think we did not even run it. So I want to open it here. This is our IDE, and I want to open to the folder we have created yesterday, and the folder is in my drive D of my system. It is named iAcaso Beginners Projects 2023. Then I open like this. When I open this project, it opens to this. We already have this created yesterday, but we didn't run it here. Okay, so when you create a new project, for you to have a confirmation whether the project is actually created correctly or not, you then have to run it. And to run a project, you say what? npm. You type in this command, npm run dev. You know, we have npm build or npm start, but npm run dev is the command we use for the development, right? npm build is when you are trying to deploy. Okay, I did not enter the what? I didn't change to the directory. Sorry, this is the directory. When I say dir, I want to see the content of the directory. Then I select this, and then I write cd. I've moved into the directory as it is. I've changed to the directory now. When I press enter, it will move to the directory. Then I run npm run dev. You can use your up and down arrow key to navigate around your previous commands. So when I run this, it will run the project if the project is created correctly. It's actually created correctly. It's running in 3001. I've already run one project in another IDE, in same IDE VS Code but different process. So that's why it is now running in 3001 instead of 3000. So when you hold your control key and click on it, it will open to the browser. Look at it opening in the browser. It is opening under localhost 3000. I mean. So before it finishes run, okay, it has run. This is now our project. This is the project. So what am I doing? This is the project. Or this is the result of our execution. When the project is executed, this is the result. That is, this is our project result. So we are going to edit this page.js for us to write what we wanted. Okay. The question says that we should create NextJS web application and integrate what? Bootstrap. Okay, we create it and integrate what? Bootstrap within it. So if you check from our IDE, this is the folder of our project. Let's go through this briefly. The most important thing here is the dependency manager, which is the package.json. This package.json is the file that contains the information about all what you have as a project here. The project name is IATA, so version is 0.1.0, and then it says private 2. The development, the script we use for running of the development, for running of the application, is that we have NextDev, we have NextBuild, we have NextStart, and we have NextInt. So we are using NextDev here, npm run dev. Then the dependencies, where we have opted that we wanted to go with ESLint, and the version of our ESLint is 8.4. The ESLint configuration for NextJS is 13.4.13, and the Next itself, the NextJS we are using, the version of Next itself is 13.4.13. Then the React version is 18.2.0, and then the React DOM is 18.2. So these are the only dependencies we are having. Now let's move to the app.js. App.js contains many things, among which are the favicon. This favicon icon is this icon, like a triangle. You can create your own. There will be a time when we are going to create our own icon, and we place it there. Then we have layout, we have globals, the CSS. This is where you are going to set your globals, that is your CSS for global CSS. Inshallah, we are going to use it today. Then the layout, we have layout. Anything placed here will be seen in each and every page. We're going to see how we're going to use layout. Then the page, the content of this page is what displays here. This is the content of what? The page. But then layout is the first, we call it root layout. It is the first thing to be executed. Then it will call its children, among which is the page .js. This page.js, the content of the page.js is, as I said, is this. So if I erase this content and I write something, I type in something, is what is going to be displayed there. For the remaining things, if you want to have some pictures or whatever, you put them inside your public here, maybe inside another folder, then public. I think we're going to be taking it one after the other. This is gitignore, and this is ESLint, ESLint.json, and this is gitignore. Gitignore gives you it enables you to make some things, to make some files ignored, that is, they should not be seen in the GitHub. When you push your project to the GitHub, there should be some files that should not be seen there, like the .env and the rest, and even this mod shouldn't be seen. These not modules shouldn't be seen there. As you can see here, not modules should not be seen there as content. We are going to discuss this vividly. So then other things here. After this, we have the package log and package log.json and the JS config. So now this is a brief explanation about it. Maybe during the theory class we're going to discuss it better. So now the main thing is here. Let's come here and remove all that is going to be all that is written here. This is main, right? Before then, I think there is issue of what bevels. Yes, let me solve this problem, this bevel issue. For you to solve it, it's giving us a error message. So you come up here, come to the ESLint.json, then you make this an array like this. You now type next. I've copied what is there, or I've cut it. Next what? Bevel. Next bevels, comma, then you paste what you have moved, and then the problem is now solved. You won't see that error again. So if you check page.json, you will not see that error. So for this main, I'm removing the content, entire content of main here. Then I'm going to introduce a div. Okay, and within the div, I will write something. As I'm writing, you see everything is being what? Wiped out. Okay, nothing will be is there. So now within the div, I can now say h1. Then I will write something. Let me see. Welcome to CloudSoft Consulting Limited. Of course, CloudSoft Consulting Limited. But then this is under CloudSoft Academy. Maybe later I will format it. Can you see what we have? Welcome to CloudSoft Consulting Limited. But you see, this we haven't done any formatting. NextJS comes along with some formattings at the globals here. The global has some formattings at root. Actually, I'm going to remove these formattings. That is this styling. That's what I mean by formattings. This styling, I don't need this styling. So I'm going to erase it. All this, we don't need them. We're going to write ours. When I do that, can you see? It has done what? It has wiped out all the background and all that we have there. You can ask questions, even though we are on video, you can ask questions. So now if you go back to pages or page.js, I wrote what? This is what I wrote. Welcome to, but then before that I want to write something. I want to write something like, maybe for, this is my div. I'm going to have it in another div, and this div I will give it class container. Then I'll move the div. This is the div. This is what I have done. Of course, you need to have one div within the main. That's why it is giving you that error message. Then I have something like this, so I can style it properly for us to have what we call responsiveness. You need to put it within. You see, the class here defines what div stands for. This class is for container, so I can use it to do all the everything here. You look at something here. If I want to check on the responsiveness, even though it is not something big, you see how it is adjusting itself, right? Within the. So then maybe at the top of this, I want to tell us I want to showcase the name of the organization, name of the academy. We now say CloudSoft Academy. So you see there. Can you see there? CloudSoft Academy. You see that it is tiny, right? Why? Because it was not any styling for the write-up. So let me now use maybe H1. You know, H1 means the biggest font, right? Yes, H1. I've used H1 now. Okay, that says what? CloudSoft what? Academy. So let me now correct this so we understand how it's working. Okay, I think this is better. CloudSoft Academy. You can introduce some simple styling here. Maybe you have class name here. Maybe you can say text center. So all the text to be written within this div is going to be what? Okay, sorry, I did not put Bootstrap is not integrated yet. So no any library that will handle this for you. Okay, unless if you are going to use align. For alignment, HTML can handle it for you. So let me remove this until when we integrate Bootstrap. So you see now, the reason why we want to come up with Bootstrap is for styling. I want to style this left, right. I want to give it color. I want to give it background. I want to give it good font. I want to give it whatever. I don't know whether we are getting it. So this is the reason why Bootstrap is to be integrated. And then the question tells you to do what? To integrate Bootstrap. We are here. We are actually trying to solve this problem, this first question. We do not integrate the Bootstrap. Already we've created the what? The project. So we are in this second segment here of the application, the project. So this, we do not integrate Bootstrap, right? So I want us to integrate Bootstrap. How do we integrate Bootstrap then? The first thing is to install Bootstrap in your application. You carry out this step. First of all, visit the Bootstrap page. You can type getbootstrap.com. That is the Bootstrap official website. Getbootstrap.com. If you don't know this command, you can just go to Google and type in Bootstrap like this. Then it opens to getbootstrap.com, and then you click on it. It opens. Please don't rush this. It tells you that the new Bootstrap is what? Version 5.3. So if you are using this version, you have to be very careful. You have to make sure that you import its own libraries, the JS and the CSS. Otherwise, you'll be having issues. Then please come off here. This is what we have. The latest Bootstrap is 5.3 latest, but we have 5.2.3 and we have 5.1.3 and we also have 5.0.2. Then we have previous releases that are not up to version 5, version 4, version 3, version 2. So 4.6, 3.4.1, 2.3.2. This is the Bootstrap. So you have to be careful. Now I want us to go by the actual, by what? I want us to go by what? The latest version. The first thing you do is to install what? The Bootstrap using npm, and categorically stated that you want to use what? Version 5.3.1. If you want to use a different version, then you move to because there are some components that are now not available in version 5. Rather, they have improved. There were upgrades and improvements on it. So if you want to use specific component with maybe version 5.2 or version 5.1 or any other release version 4.6, 4. Whatever, then you specify. So if I copy this, so the first thing here in our documentation, if I want to install Bootstrap, so there is even a mistake here. For at A documentation, at A like this, first you install what? Install the Bootstrap what? I will send together with this documentation for you. When I upload the video, I will send this to your WhatsApp something. Install the what? The Bootstrap dependency or Bootstrap package into the NextJS project. Yusuf, what are you doing? Don't do anything, just listen. NextJS into the NextJS what? Into the NextJS project. How do you do that? This is the command. So this is the installation. What are those disturbing us? So now come to this is our IDE, right? You come here, I've copied it. You can create another copy of your terminal, then you paste what? Paste it like this. npm I, if you like, you can write in full npm install Bootstrap. It's correct. Then you what? You press enter, it will install it for you. Or either npm install Bootstrap or npm I stands for what? Install. Yes, it has finished installation. So let's confirm. Who can tell me, how do you confirm that Bootstrap has been installed? To confirm, you come to where? Thank you. You come to package.json. Who's answering? Is this Sadi? Yes, Sadi. That's good. Come to package.json. Package.json, then you come to what? Bootstrap. Can you see Bootstrap? Who's those disturbing this class? Why are you learning? Kashira the Guru and Simon Gawaka? All right. So already Bootstrap is here installed, right? So we are done. Then we can remove this, and our system is continue running. It's still running. So then now go by the documentation. After this, now you move to what? Docs. Come to Docs. Then this is what Bootstrap says. Get started with Bootstrap. It says create new HTML. This is they are referring to, Bootstrap are not serving only NextJS. So they are telling you some things you will do. You create new Bootstrap. You create new HTML. Then you include what? Bootstrap CSS. Here in the index.html, they are suggesting that you go with the meta name viewpoint. This viewpoint gives you kind of content as an attribute that enables you for smooth scalability, for responsiveness. Okay, so it will get the width and of your device, screen width of your device and scale. So next is you integrate the what? The CSS and the JS. So this is what we are going to do. You integrate the CS and what and the JS. Let me check if we sometimes I want to check whether we have Bootstrap in our nodes. Anything being installed is going to be present here. Any package you are using, any package you have installed, can you see? We have a package here, right? What is it? In the node module, then you click on it, then you move to what? Dist. So we are going to install these two, CSS and what? Yes. CSS and JS. Thank you. Let's start with the JS. CSS. So this CSS, you move to Bootstrap. Bootstrap.css. Yes. Bootstrap.css. Then main.css. This is it. So this is the part of your installation. I don't know whether you can see what's as a notification or like a tip, right? Text tip. It tells you the command you are going to write. So this you are going to write it within where? Within here. Inside your globals. That's why you're going to import it. If you check from the documentation at the same time, you're going to see something here. Can you see it here? CSS. Even though for ours we are not going to use JDeliver, but we will see, since it is npm, we will start from Bootstrap and then we'll move to the last one here. Since we have already stated that we are going to use so this is our CDN links. So what you do is, first of all, to take you're going to import something like this, right? Then yes, this is how we import it. Of course, it's going to make complaint, but we have to put in the content of the text. This is exactly how I did it in my project, and it's running. Okay, import URL. Sorry, I forgot there's URL. So this is exactly what we are going to do here. At import URL, and so let me copy this to our documentation, so we don't go. So after this is A1, right? Step 1. Let me do it like this. Step 1 under A. Then step 2. Now see, import the CSS CDN link, right? CDN link inside what? Inside the globals dot what? CSS, and this is the command. I'll send this documentation to you so you have it very handy. Yes, this is the command. URL, right? This is the command. Okay, so I can now, it's better you go by the documentation. So you see, if he hadn't continued with this, I would have gotten issues, right? So for you to do, you come up with at import and then URL, and this is the correct thing. If you check, already we have browsed through Bootstrap, right? And we move to dist, we move to CSS, and we move to what? bootstrap.main.css. So this is the first thing you do. Next, we want to import the what? The JS. You know, it tells us that we are going to do two importation or two imports for the CDN. One is for the CSS and the other one is for the JS, right? Which is here. You include Bootstrap CSS, Bootstrap CSS and JS. So that's what we are doing. So the next one is going to be done within here, and it's going to be done within what we call use effect. So how? Actually, NextJS 13.4, the current latest version, it considers anything that is being written within the app folder. Anything written within this folder is being considered as server side. All right, server side. We have server side, we have client side. So if it happens you want to introduce any client side within, then you have to introduce what we call the use client. So what I do first of all is to introduce the use effect here, and the use effect is written this way. Use effect. This is a hook. It's a method. It's a method that changes the behavior of objects or constants or variables or states, if you like. All right. So you introduce something like this as a use effect. Then you introduce an arrow function. No, the arrow function means just it's a function, but you use arrow in something like even Java is using it I think it was introduced in Java 8. Okay, we call it lambda, is it lambda operator or something, if I can recall. So this arrow function is going to have two inputs, the objects and a dependency. Within the object, the dependency, within the object, we're going to import our Bootstrap JS. So how you come down to this again, come to the node modules. Any package installed that goes through your package.json, it's going to be found here, because it's when you call it, then the functionalities are to be executed right from here back to where you are actually trying to execute it. So Bootstrap here, now this time around it's not CSS, it is what? JS. Then you move to Bootstrap bundle main.js. So this is what we use, Bootstrap bundle main.js. I also have done it in my project here, so we don't waste time. I can just copy this. This is the import. That's in another project and it's running correctly. So it's like I'm doing a reuse here, but I've showcased how you're going to write this. We say what? Bootstrap dist, then what? JS is the folder here, right? Then Bootstrap bundle.main.js. So we are done with the installation. But then if you run this, there is going to be a problem. It tells you that you are trying to, of course it's telling you what you have to use, use client. This is the problem you're going to encounter. If you check from where we are running it, you see something. Yes, it tells you that there is a problem. You are importing a component that needs use effects. Okay, so then you have to use use client. So first of all, at the top here, you introduce this use client, because this is a client side functionality. So you introduce it here, and once it is introduced, then you are done. If you do not do this for Bootstrap installation, you'll be having issues actually. In fact, Bootstrap will not even work. So if you check, our errors now is gone, right? Now we have solved the second part of the first question of our assignment. Second part is now being solved, which says what? Which says, I'll send this same file, which says what? Integrate Bootstrap, then create a folder called component. Before we create folder, let's confirm that our Bootstrap is working. So now we can do styling, we can do formatting, we can do colorations, we can do fonts, we can do whatever, we can do anything, right? Yes. So let's check now. I think maybe I'll probably, after this, I'll stop the video and create another one, so it doesn't become somehow lengthy. So I think our installation is done now. Our installation is done, so we can even close everything here. We can close everything here. So let's go back to page.js, then come down to where we have this. Okay, so now let me do this, so we'll be seeing what is going to be happening with our page. I've divided the page into two, right? The screen into two. One is our code editor. The second part here at the right side is our the result of our work, right? Yes. So here, can we introduce something here? I want us to style this to a class name. I want to style it to say text center. Can you see? Okay, you didn't see? It has now moved center. So you see now the beautification of your work or alignment or whatever, we're going to be using that of Bootstrap to do all that. I think for us to do it correctly, let me color this to a given background. Let me give this div, only the div to a background, BG, let me say BG red, and let's say 500 of the red. It did not work, right? Let me see BG. Okay, let me see BG primary. BG primary works, right? Okay, I want to understand what is happening. Okay, BG success. Right, it's working. But please, do you understand something? It doesn't cover everything, right? There is margin. So if you come to this container and say fluid, can you see? Fluid is the one that covers everything. Force of fluid gives you what? Margin. Because if you open it this way, you see it covered. Alright? So you see now responsiveness is there. If I hover around like this, there will be no any problem. It will be adjusting itself automatically. Can you see? It is always at the center. No matter what number of breakpoints. The breakpoint is telling you, information about the size of screen. That's breakpoint. Screen size. If you're having a phone, then you are having breakpoint of what? 700. Is it not? 700 to 700 and something. If you have 800, 760 something, I think maybe we check from the something, but then the minimum is 700 for what? Then for your laptop is what? For pad is 800. For laptop is what? 900. Isn't it? For screen is 1200. For a bigger screen, larger than desktop, it is 1400 and above, and then and above and above and above. So this is what we're doing here. So let me quickly introduce something here. Let's do something here let's do some here. Okay. This welcome also we can format it as well. Okay, we can format it and give it kind of something. But then please, this header, even though I'm going to introduce actual header from something from maybe we should do that completely. Yes. So let me format this one as well. Let's give it class. So you see, this is not within this small div. That's why it is not being affected. This div covers only that one, and this bigger div has its own. If you give color to this div, then it's going to affect the welcome to CloudSoft, right? I don't know whether you are getting it, because you are sectioning. So div within div, you are look like nesting, right? So here, let's say the BG here. BG is let's say BG light. Is it there? Okay, let me say BG dark for us to know what's happening. Maybe somebody is wondering. Yes, it is coming up. So the lights was white, right? So we couldn't see. If you want to understand what we are saying, maybe somebody will say, what do you mean by this BG? What do you mean by yes? You go to Bootstrap. Bootstrap tells you get Bootstrap. Bootstrap tells you that it has component and it has colors, it has whatever. So if you want to, you can just come here and say what color, right? You can just say color. It will search it for you. Then you move down. Can you see these are colors we are calling? Success, danger, success emphasis, danger emphasis, text, whatever, info, lights. I think light emphasis, right? There is even danger emphasis, light, dark. All these are colors. So you can use them, and you can use other colors as well. You can use opacity, text color utility are generated with SAS. All these are how it works. Look at how. Please go through these things. Example. This is example of what opacity. You give it opacity of what 50%. So when you give it, you say BS text opacity is it is primary, text primary, but then the opacity is what 50% of opacity. So it gives you like a kind of styling and like this. So I think we are doing something. I think Let me correct this, then we'll create another video for the header, because I want us to be taking it one after the other, so the video shouldn't be so lengthy, such that somebody doesn't get confused. So for this now, look at it. We said it is dark. As it is dark like this, then our text will not be same, right? So then we can now say text what? Text light. The text should be light. Yes, can you see something happening here? When I say text light, it has affected all, right? Yeah, that's because even this is within. Unless maybe if you don't want this to be text light, then you can now say text. You give it text. It is nesting. If you give it, it will override the one above there. So you can say text, say, let me say text danger for us to see something, for example. Yes, text danger. You see what's happening. Yes, it is overriding it since it is, let me say light. Let's see. Okay, light is same. Let me even leave it text as it is. So this is it. We are going to come up with the creation of header right now. I think let me quickly stop the video, then we'll create another one. Thank you for watching.